Welcome to another episode of Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, from the Bay to LA, all over to San Jose. And today we're talking about, something strange going on and trying to figure out, what's causing all this madness, all this chaos that we've been going through, especially over the last, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, but even beyond that. We've been getting reports in protests, counter-protests, light them if you got them. But, of course, I'm your host, Elsie Graves. We got Monkey and Ice, we got Jim, Jennifer, Becky. We've been connecting. Most of the team been in quarantine. So, you don't get the same amount of material or, shows that we usually get. But what we try to do is, research these topics and try to get you as much information as we can. But it's incredible that these times are changing so quickly. I mean, the whole world is completely different than what we can remember it being, at the beginning of this year. I mean, do any of you remember your New Year's resolution? I mean, I'm pretty sure we've all strayed away from that. At the same time, things are happening quick, speed of life. So, of course, we still doing shows, trying to reach the masses, from California to New York, up north, down south. But, people leave, comments, shoot me emails, like, oh, when y'all gonna start, recording again? And I said, we working on some stuff, doing a lot of research. So, this is us, we back. But it's crazy because I was just talking to Mikey the other day, and I was just trying to wrap my mind around, just this new world. And we covered a lot of, strange things. And, this fits right in. But, this has, all the ingredients. It has a political aspect, a scientific aspect, the coronavirus and all that. Then you have the protests, the civil rights. I mean, it's hard to wrap your mind, around the entire subject because it's a lot. I mean, we broke down the subjects, so we could talk about, all these different things, segment it, make it a little bit smaller so people can, take a look and see more clearly what we've been going through. Now, I've been doing a lot of reading, going to a lot of research, trying to get, other people's ideas on some of the stuff that's been happening, because, you have religious leaders, you have political leaders, you have scientific leaders, right? or scientists, people with opinions. They all chime in, on different subjects. Now, I try not to, get into a yelling contest on who could be the loudest. I try to just speak sense, get up off my chest. Now, we get so many different, how do you say, leads. And, we get many different files, many different emails, and many different stories, and then they carry us in all these different directions. And we're trying to make sense of it because, people are scared and they often, ask me, like, what's going on? Can you tell us, like, what's happening? Like when the shutdowns are going to end, or when are we going to, open the schools back, or when are we going to be able to get back to work? Who's most affected by this virus? And, they say, some of the poor communities, you know, Hispanics, blacks, frontline workers. And it's amazing. I mean, if you stop and look at it. I mean, take a listen to this clip, play it for our audience, Mikey, so they can get an idea of who they're saying is most at risk when it comes to, this coronavirus, and it's infecting, our masses, our people. But listen to this.
People, they worry that they'll come to the noticeable authorities. They just tested everyone. They wanted to get the baseline, like how many people actually have this disease, even if they don't know it. And yes, the results were very striking. As you said, 40% of the people they tested, it was about 4,000 people that got tested. 40% of them were Latino, but 95% of the positive cases came from that group. And it really painted this picture of just two different worlds, really. People in the Latino community were living in a much worse pandemic than people outside of that group. Probably because they're more likely to be in these lower status jobs where, I'm a journalist, I'm lucky enough that I can basically do my job from home pretty much okay. It's inconvenient, but I can do it. But if you work in the restaurant industry and hospitality, in a store, you might have to keep going out, and that's when you're going to get exposed.
Sorry about the music. Mikey had it planned. But check this out. If you think about it now, the frontline workers from all around the world, especially LA County, from people that work from the grocery stores, or people that work in, our food industries, and, basically people who are still on the clock right now. Then you say, okay, are they have more risk than, a person that's buying the food or using, this service? And we never know, because the answer, is mixed amongst all these numbers that we get continuously from, the governor, or from, the media, or from, people at our jobs, or just casual conversations. I mean, everybody seems to have their own information or their own idea of, exactly, who's affected more. It could be the elderly, right? Or it could be frontline workers. Or it could be anybody who left the house. I mean, it's just so many different aspects when you think about it. I mean, it's hard to, even protect a certain aspect of our society, because every aspect is, in danger. So we stop to try to ask ourselves, like, what is it that we can do? And I mean, we get this question asked, from all parts of the country, whether you're in Utah or whether you're in, New York, Chicago, Virginia, Florida, Texas. It doesn't matter where you're at. I mean, the question is the same. I mean, it's like, when is it all this going to be over? Or when will we ever be able to go back to a normal life or anything close to it? Or even a better question, what is the new world going to look like in life after all this? How would all this be remembered? Because this is something, that'll be right in everybody's history book, right? Doesn't matter if you're in the Czech Republic, or in the Middle East, or in Asia, or in America. It doesn't matter. This time in history is going to be recorded, in everybody's history book. I mean, everybody have their own interpretation or perception of what happened. And they're recorded in their history. So they, children's children can look back and say, I wonder what happened back in 2020. And I hope they'll be able to. So we search for answers day by day, every day. And, we come up with the same, formula. You ask a question, get an answer. That answer creates more questions, and then you often find the answer to more questions. It's forever a quest to, gather knowledge. But you want to understand, things like this, right? The pandemic, because, seeing the world shut down, the economy, seeing what it's done to families, So you want to understand it better because you want to be better prepared next time. So, this is what we do. So we'll do our part. I mean, it's incredible. Mikey, thank you for carrying the music. I mean, we have a lot of work to do. I mean, current news is showing that the world political, is just in our media, is in our, stories, is in our laws, it's just, everything's politics. Sometimes you just want to get away. But we continue to do what we do, and I thank y'all for joining us. We got plenty more coming up. The wait is over. We just wanted to get our feet wet. Sorry about the music earlier. We're still working on that. So thanks for joining us, and we'll be back soon. We'll be back. Dark Skies News and Information. Your host, Elsie Grace. Thank you.